Hey guys, welcome back to another video for One Car Critique. My name is Jesse and today I have a very exciting video for you. We are going to be reviewing this beautiful car right here. It is a G80 M3 with an S58 engine, and I'm going to take you through everything this car has to offer and why you should own it. So let's get into it. Starting off with its initial looks, the car is stunning. Every single aspect about it is beautiful. From the front end, how aggressive it looks with those big nostrils in the front, to the rear end, which is quite aggressive for a rear end. I mean, it's got the quad pipes with a beautiful metallic note. It's got the ghost lights in the middle. It's even got reflectors on the side, which a lot of tuners, what they tend to do is they take those reflectors out and they put an actual air vent in there, which helps with downforce and cooling of the brakes in the rear wheels. You have a 3-litre straight 6, which puts out about 510 brake horsepower, pushing 650 Newton meters of torque. Now for a car that's possibly a daily, it's got a lot of immense power. Now in the front of the car you get 19-inch rims, which are diamond cut, with your standard steel brakes, but these have these little holes in them for additional cooling. And as we come to the back of the car, you can tell that the wheels are a lot bigger because they are 20 inches in the back. Now this only comes standard on the competition model. On the regular M3 you get 18s in the front and 19s in the back. Now something I did forget to mention about the brake discs is actually you can upgrade them to the carbon ceramics, which will actually have the gold rather than the red on the calipers. Now on this car, how would you know that it is the competition and not the regular one? Well, you have M competition badging in the front, you have M competition badging on the side, and you have M competition badging in the rear. And I'm definitely not one to miss the M competition badging on the door sill. In the interior you get a beautiful leather wrapped steering wheel with carbon fiber trim on it. Even on the paddle shifters there's carbon fiber. You get a lot of carbon fiber in this car. You get it in the center console, here on this port here where you have your wireless charging, you have your 2 cup holders, you even got a beautiful screen there which is a 10.1 inch, which has all your different AI modes on it. Now these seats are really amazing. As you can see, you get your M3 badging right there. These are the M competition comfort seats, which are very comfortable, I must say. They don't have that funny thing that goes here on the bucket seats, but yeah. Also you get your seats right here, which are obviously electrically controlled, so that's a very nice feature. Now some of the cool things this car has, it has gesture control. So when you wind your finger like this, the volume goes up, and when you wind your finger down like that, the volume goes down. Even on the steering you have these 2 programmable settings here, which is for more power in the car. So instead of you getting that normal 510, it boosts the car by just a little bit more with the added torque. You also have a very nice gauge cluster right here, buttons just like everything you need, a nice red stop start button right there. That BMW kept in was the buttons for the climate control. For everyday use of this car, this makes sense. This car was obviously well thought out of, and they didn't just rush it and they took their time with it. As you can see, it's got a lot of cool features that everyday driving or everyday drivers would want. When you go to the sound system of the car, obviously you can see you have the Harman and Kardon speakers in here, and I will honestly tell you it sounds absolutely amazing. The quality, the sound, the clarity is astonishing. Now as you can see from the back seats, there's quite a lot of leg room. For a regular average person who would sit here, it's quite a big space. And you get these beautiful M stitching on the seat belts, which is a great touch. But before I forget to say, you also get your climate control in the back with 2 charging ports, which are USB-C. I will say that this car sounds absolutely amazing, and I'm going to give you a sound test right now. Alright guys, we are going to go for a drive right now. Okay, I'm very excited, as you can tell. This is the first time I will be driving an M3 Competition G80. Now I've been in the F82, which was the M4, and that was a stage 2. That was an exciting car. It was a bit scary though. This is a rear wheel drive M3 Competition. It's not the X drive, so all 510 horsepower in this car is going right to the rear wheels. But it's got a lot of cool modes. It's got your track focus mode, where you press your M1 and M2 buttons. It's got obviously all your typical BMW stuff, like your setup mode, where you get to change the adaptive dampers, which are the M Sport adaptive dampers, by the way. The steering wheel is fully comfortable. It feels like you're holding a cushion, but at the same time it's very sporty, and that's what BMW is known for. They're known for their quality and their sportiness of cars. So now we're going to go for a drive and experience it. That sounds amazing. That exhaust note, you know what it is? It's perfect. BMW found exactly what they needed between a noisy car and a very silent car, and they were like, said, yep, this is perfect. A lot of people who get these M competition cars or M3s, M4s, they tend to tune them, and the first thing they go for is the exhaust, because they just feel like they need more sound out of it. But you don't. This is perfect for everyday use. Once a cold start goes down, you hear that light slide tune, and that's perfect. I said let's go for the drive. And just off initial moving mode, I can tell that this car is powerful. I have not even touched the accelerator and I can feel the power in it already. So yeah. Oh, the brakes are very sharp, aren't they? Okay. Okay, we are gonna go left. Road is clear. Just want to make sure. It's so low to the ground. Like, I didn't expect it to be this low to the ground. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention that this car does have a heads-up display, which is showing me the actual speed of the road right now, which is 60. So I'm not gonna smash it head in. I'm just gonna enjoy the drive and tell you what it's like to drive a car like this. So for a lot of people who enjoy car reviews, they want the car, but they don't actually understand how expensive it is to own a car like this. So for example, to change one tire on this car, you're going to spend around 200 to 300 pound. On this car, it does have the Michelin Pilot Sport 4 S's, so you know, you're getting that extra grip. I love Michelin, they do such a great job. And then the rims, if you curb them, that's another £1,000 to get fixed. So it's not a cheap thing owning one of these cars, you know. But I will say driving one, and this being rear wheel drive, makes it so exciting. I mean, we've all seen the videos of those BMWs going sideways. Okay, so just switched the car from comfort to sports mode, and wow, it's already, like, you know, it's already hungry. This car just wants to be let out. It feels like it's got shackles on, chains on, you know. It wants to be free, and I don't know if I'm ready to experience that, to be honest. Wow, I have no words for that. I didn't even flex my tendons in my foot and the car wanted to take off. Okay, so I'm just going to turn around. Obviously this car comes with a reverse camera and sensors all around. That I've just been shown is when you put the car into reverse, on the screen there's a mode called reversing parking assistance. You hit that button and now I basically don't have to do anything. All the AI and all the sensors in this car take control. So I'm going to release the brakes slowly and see what happens. So right now the steering wheel is doing all its own work, and I don't have to actually do anything. It's watching out for cars, it's watching out for pedestrians, and at the same time it's turning the steering wheel so that we get out of this tight spot. That is very cool. Now, I didn't know BMW is actually like built like this. I've always been personally an Audi guy, so I mean the technology in Audis is completely different. Now it's saying end route reached. Okay, cool. So we're going to put this back into drive and I will take over from here. Now, something I have noticed about this car is the brakes. The brakes do squeak a bit, but everyone knows who's ever owned a BMW that is typical. But the sound of this car completely overturns the sound of the brakes. You don't even hear it. Cool, so I'm just looking for a nice gap, a safe gap, and we are back on the road, baby. Okay, so I think the car is still in sport. I'm gonna wait until we hit that 60. The head-up display is perfect on this car. It's at the perfect height. It's not really in the car. It's more on the road, so you're actually looking ahead up. And look at that. I mean, for everyday use, this is the perfect daily. It sounds amazing. It feels amazing. The quality in here is perfect. I mean, there's no like random squeaks on the interior. You know, everything's quite solid. And yeah, BMW knew exactly what they were doing with this car. So something that I do need to mention, and I've just been reminded, this car is a sleeper car. You know, you see these cars every single day on the road and you don't think much of them. Like, oh yeah, it's another BMW, it's another 3 Series, but no. That M performance is something not to play with. I mean, the likes of, this is equivalent to an RS5, and if you haven't seen the RS5 video already put out, make sure you go watch that. I will put a link in the description to it. But this completely overturns that RS5. I mean, I thought that RS5 with its 444 horsepower was plenty for that car. This car outperforms it in so many different ways. Go on and give it. Wow, overtook in seconds. Overtook in seconds. Do you know how hard it would be to do that in a daily, a typical daily Toyota, a Hyundai, or you know, a Honda, whatever? It's not easy to overtake something like that. It's very, very impressive. I've just popped the car in sport mode. I'm actually going to find out. I'm on a national speed limit road, so I'm actually going to see what it's like. Wow! It reached 60, 70 in absolutely 0.1 seconds. That's what it felt like. This car now does a 0 to 60 in 3.8, as I've mentioned before, but people don't actually understand how quick 3.8 seconds is. For you to put your shoes on after you get out of bed every morning, it takes you probably about 5 seconds. Now this car, in that time, would have reached a whole 0 to 60 and more. I mean, back in the day, cars with 500 horsepower was not known of, you know. You have to really like either build it yourself or find out who sells those type of cars, you know. And you have to be an exclusive person to own a car with 500 brake horsepower. Now, cars are pushing the limits of 1,000, 2,000. Most cars nowadays that are coming out from the hypercar brands like McLaren and Bugatti and Rimac, Koenigsegg, they all bring out cars with 1,000, 2,000 horsepower, which was unheard of if you go back 10, 15 years ago. So, yeah, I'm lost for words, really. I'm really lost for words. Okay, so we've just been for a drive, yeah, and the car's got me like completely shell-shocked. I'm gonna take it for one last drive. I want to go through a couple other features of the car, but right now let's listen to the sound of this. I'm gonna connect this mic to there. We're gonna find out what it sounds like. Finished the review and I'm about to head back home now. What an experience today.
So you don't get to take the warnings. Display information,